Hello there guys! For today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a grungy halftone effect in Photoshop. And also we will dive deeper into adding layers like a contrast and brightness, converting layers into smart object, applying filters like reticulation, grain, halftone pattern, film grain, and adding curve layer. So let's get started. So here in our document, I prepare here an image where we're going to apply the grungy halftone effect. So the first step we're going to do here is we're going to duplicate this background layer. So going on to the layers panel, select on that background layer, right click on it, and then choose duplicate layer. And then let's hit OK. And next step here, we're going to add a brightness or contrast layer. So going on to the adjustment layer icon here, just select this one and then choose brightness and contrast. And then from the properties, I'm going to increase the contrast into the amount of 80%. Okay, and then for the brightness, I'm going to decrease this one into the amount of -10. All right, now also from this background layer, I'm going to hide this one for now. Okay, now once this is fine, I'm going to select on this background copy layer and then press Control and also select on the brightness and contrast layer. Now I'm going to convert these layers to smart object. So I'm going to right click on it and then find convert to smart object. So those two layers turned into one and now it's already a smart object. And by the way, if you find this video helpful so far, please consider subscribing to help YouTube algorithm show my videos to other nerds like us. Well, going back, now the next step we're going to do here is we're going to apply the filters. So, selected on that layer, let's rename this layer as Grungy Halftone. With that Grungy Halftone layer selected, I'm going to the menu bar, go to Filter, under Filter, go to Filter Gallery. Alright, so let's start first by adding the reticulation. So where to find the reticulation? It's just under the sketch. Select on sketch, then go to reticulation. So under the adjustments, I'm going to set the density to 0 for the foreground level. So I think I'm gonna bring that into 5. Okay. Yeah, let's zoom this one out for us to see that. Alright. So for the foreground level, okay, maybe I'm gonna set this one into around 35. Okay. Now I'm okay with this. Alright, next up here, we're going to add another filter under this filter gallery. So to add more, you can just select on this new effect layer. Click on that. Now the next filter here is the grain. So where to find the grain? So let's hide the sketch first. Let's go to texture. Under texture, find grain. Okay, so for the intensity, I'm going to lower this down into amount of 20. Okay. All right, for the contrast, I'm going to increase that. Yes, 60 is fine for me. Okay, that looks okay. And make sure that you're selected on grain. Next here is we're going to add another filter, and that will be the halftone pattern. So let's go here again. Select on this new effect layer. All right, and then let's go to sketch. Under sketch, find halftone pattern. Okay, so for the pattern type, I'm going to set this one to dot. All right, so for the size, I'm going to increase that. Well, I'm good with 5. For the contrast, set that to 40. And lastly, we're going to add the film grain. Okay, so to do that, again, let's select on this new effect layer. Select that. And then go to artistic. Under artistic, go to film grain. Okay, so for the options, I'm going to set the grain into amount of 10. Okay, from the highlights, I'm going to increase this one as well. 14. Okay, for the intensity, I'm going to lessen this one to around 2. Okay, all right, now that's looking better for me. All right, so once all set, hit OK. All right, there you go. Now, lastly, I'm going to add a contrast. So to do that, with that grungy halftone layer selected, I'm going to the adjustment layer icon and then go to curves. Okay, so this time I'm just going to add a contrast. So I'm going to create a point from here, also a point on here. So from the shadows, I'm going to drag this one just a little bit. Okay, just to darken this one a bit. Okay, so something like this. Now I'm okay with this. From the highlights, I'm going to increase that just a few as well. All right, there we go. Now I'm okay with this. Now let's zoom this one out. So if I'm going to zoom this one in, okay, so you can see the details. of the halftone effect on our image. Amazing, isn't it? So let me show you the before and after. This one is the before, and this one is the after. And that is how to create grungy halftone effect in Photoshop.